I believe that music continues to play until we get to the room. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, I'm thinking about the other music. There's music later on that'll keep playing. So we do have the VHS tape already as well, so now we can open this up. So we're not going to go directly to 312 just yet. We want to. So that's 312. We're not going to go in there just yet. That's where it wants us to go. We're going to go through some of these other doors first. That's broken. That's broken. Push the button, nothing happens. And there you go. I think that's everything on this floor, basically. Nothing else is open. Alright, let's finally enter 312. And we find a room. And a TV. Whatever could we be doing with that, I wonder. Television here. Even when it's plugged in, all it get is snow. Oh, can't do that here. Oh, there it is. It's on the floor. VCR here. There we go. I forgot it was on the floor next to it, not on top of it.
Are you taping again? Come on.
Hi, Mary.
I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James.
So this was years ago before her illness really took over, if you're wondering. Something was happening there. We will find out what that is in just a bit.
Mary.
Hi, Laura.
So there you are, James. Did you get the letter? Did you find Mary? If not, let's get going already, okay?
Laura.
Laura. Laura. You get that reference, I'm sorry.
Mary's gone. She's dead.
She did.
Liar, that's a lie!
No, that's not true.
She died because she was sick?
No. I killed her.
There it is.
isn't here.
That was ominous.
Laura, I'm sorry. That voice.
Okay. We leave the room. There's water dripping now, which is a little strange. Save point. Okay. We go through here. There's a purple scribble now. I'm not sure what that means. Alright. Now we are moving into, I believe, the finale. Trying to remember, do we go all the way down here, or... Also, this water dripping is interesting for one of the theories behind the endings. But we'll talk about that once we get to it. Oh, I passed through them. I'm just going to the places that are not marked. Okay, room 207 led to room 204. Room 204 leads back to room 207. That's not how doors work. That one won't budge. Seeing it suggests that maybe this is how the apartment actually is now. Not the delusion that Mary is broken, his delusions are breaking apart. Yeah, that could be a point too. Oh, now we're in 219. We've never been to this side before. Yeah, I mean, it is near a lake, right? So that does make some sense. But, like I said, I think it also lends credence to one specific ending, given what the developers have said about it. Not the dripping water, but about the ending. Okay, now where are we at? Okay. These teleporting doors are messing me up. Okay, so we need to go all the way down and out through that way. If we can. Survey says we can. Okay. So can't go. So we got the elevator. That's basically the only place we can go. And this one works. To the basement. Going to hell. Whoa, whoa. Stab. No, that'll make sense later in the series. Okay. Go through here. Okay, so we gotta go through the bar to those stairs again. What are we looking at, James? Health drinks? Oh yeah, I forgot. This is where they stockpiled the health drinks. You get 4 health drinks there. Oh, actually, I think we have quite a bit left. Now that I'm starting to remember. Do we have like a whole nother zone with a whole nother puzzle and boss fight and... Yeah, we've got more left than I'm thinking. Okay. Okay, we go... We're just gonna go straight. Oh, squirmy friends. Ah, this is an important scene.
Looking for you. Now you're the only one left. Maybe then I can rest. Mama, why are you running away? You're not my mama. It's you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Angela, no.
Thank you for saving me. But I wish you hadn't. Even Mama said it. I deserved what happened.
No, Angela, that's wrong.
Yikes.
No, don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me. Will you love me? Take care of me? Heal all my pain?
That thing on the wall is also important for her story.
That's what I thought. James, give me back that knife.
No, I won't.
saving it for yourself?
Me? No. I'd never kill myself.
That's also a very interesting line. We'll talk about why this scene is important as soon as it's over.
It's hot as hell in here.
You see it too. For me, it's always like this.
And there it is right there. So with that last line, for me, it's always like this. By the way, if we try to go up here, we can't. We get bounced off the fire. We can't save Angela. This is where they establish everyone's Silent Hill is different. This is what Angela's, or at least a piece of what Angela's Silent Hill looks like. This is what she always saw. Which is drastically different than what we just came from, where we saw the hotel underwater, essentially, right? So this is where they establish, not like by just telling you, hey, they're different Silent Hills for different people, but this is what Silent Hill does. It takes you through those moments and creates a Silent Hill specific to you. Also, fire plays a big part in Silent Hill in general. Also, we walked in there, got that scene, walked back out, and now we're in the staircase, which is very interesting. But yeah, so that is a very important scene for a couple reasons. One, we find out that it's very likely that either Angela's mother's dead or abandoned her to her drunk and abusive father, who did all sorts of terrible things to her. I believe it's even mentioned somewhere that her brother was also involved with some of her abuse as well. So Angela has a very, very sad story. So may we never experience our own personal Silent Hills. Yeah. No thanks. Still meaning for the psychological aspect, the suffering we face, the pain, the trauma, and the feelings. Others can feel it. They can empathize, but for her, for you, me, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very powerful line for a number of reasons. And, you know, people that are, you know, like, that go through that stuff. I thought this is where we... Oh, we need to go a little bit further this way? This way? I passed it. It says there's stairs, like, right here, and I can't see the stair door. There we go. It's a little hard to see. Wait, is this not where we just came from? Also refer things to the line as... It's not where we just came from? I think that's where we just came from. Okay. Trying to figure out. Sorry, I'm getting a little lost in the sauce talking about this game. There's a lot of, like, this is what I was talking about by those messaging stuff that I really hope the remake nails. Okay, so we need to go up. I was going the right way. It's this way. And down here. Oh, what are we looking at there? Chief rifle rounds. Probably gonna need those. But yeah, if you know people that have gone through stuff, that line for me, it's always like this, is basically how it is, right? you get used to like how it feels to be in those mental states, in those physical states, and stuff like that. So, one more thing on that on the remake: if they mess up Angela's story in a way that messes it up in some way. Like, again, I think because they... I think because they have stuff to work off of, I don't see them really, like, making big mistakes. How much rifle ammo do we have? We got 52, that's more than enough. With the story and stuff. Plus, again, Konami is working with them. It's not just oh, we handed this off and they're doing their own thing. Like, Konami is, like, looking over their shoulder constantly. So I'm hoping the melding of the two will lead to a very good remake. God, it is so dark for you guys. I don't know how to make it less dark for you guys. I don't know why this game is so dark, because...
Stop! Leave her alone!
Hi, Maria.
Leave us both the hell alone!
You were dead. And then you weren't. And then you were dead again.
I was weak. That's why I needed you. Needed someone to punish me for my sins. But that's all over now. I know the truth. Now it's time to end this.
Okay. You need to get a little bit of distance, spin around, and... I don't remember how many rifle shots it takes, but it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's switch to the shotgun. It just fires faster. Ugh. Run. We gotta get some distance so we can heal. Where's our med kits at? We don't want to waste too many resources on this fight, but... By the way, you see the mark of, there they go. Okay. You see the mark of Samael there on the floor, which is interesting, because as far as I know, that's the only place in this game where you see that. And now they're done. It's locked. Round indention in the door. It's holding something. There we go. I was like, wait a second, I'm missing something. I forgot to use the item. Let's go and use a couple of those to top off. Discover egg. But yeah, it's locked. Oh, do I gotta get the other one? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I gotta get both of them. I forgot. It's been a little while. Scarlet egg and the rust-colored egg. Now we can get there. Should be.
Mary?
What do you want, James?
I brought you some flowers.
Flowers? I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look, I'm disgusting. I don't deserve flowers. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Well, what are you looking at? Get the hell out of here! Leave me alone already! I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It'd be easier if they'd just kill me. But I guess the hospital is making a nice profit off me. They want to keep me alive. Are you still here? I told you to go! Are you deaf? Don't come back! James! Wait! Please don't go! Stay with me! Don't leave me alone! I didn't mean what I said! Please, James! Tell me I'll be okay! Tell me I'm not going to die! Help me!
Okay. And that is the sickbed conversation. Too real? Yeah. There's a lot of realness in these games. Voice acting needs to be on this level. It will. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of great things with the remake. Can't go there. Let's go ahead and reload this. Equipped it. But we'll have to see. Like I said, we're going to be streaming it on the channel regardless. If it turns out to be an absolute dumpster fire, then we'll have fun along the way. If it turns out to be absolutely amazing, then we'll have fun along the way. So, either way it goes, we get to have fun one way or another. What are you turning for? Okay. I keep pushing left and he keeps turning right. I'm not sure what's going on. Might be just something with the camera angle. I feel like they tried it in Homecoming. I think that's what makes this particular one so good. I don't know that any of the others touched on that same kind of emotional trauma. I think with this one in particular, it's just they touch on multiple people's trauma, right? It's not just the main characters, right? This game touches on Eddie's, it touches on Angela's, you get a little bit of Laura's, you know, she had to watch a friend from the hospital leave, you know, so she has a little bit of like abandonment issues and she doesn't like James for obvious reasons. I think it's just because there's so much more than what's in basically later installments, but it's definitely there. Like the story of 3 is very intense once you like understand what it's telling you the story is about. It is a very, very intense and messed up story. 4, I like the antagonist of 4, but like 4's story is kind of meh. Homecoming's interesting, because it's definitely another one where it deals with family, but and Downpour, I don't know, Downpour I feel like that one's an interesting one too, but not for good reasons. Alright. Hello, Mary.
Mary?
That's not Mary.
When will you ever stop making that mistake? Mary's dead. You killed her.
Maria? It's you. But I don't need you anymore.
What? You must be joking. But I can be yours. I'll be here for you forever. And I'll never yell at you or make you feel bad. That's what you wanted. I'm different than Mary. How can you throw me away?
I understand now. It's time to end this nightmare.
No, I won't let you. You deserve to die too, James.
By the way, I love the design for this boss. I just hate this boss fight. There we go. Healed her with a riffle. Riffle power.
James.
Give her one last shot through the heart.
Mary?
James.
Forgive me.
I told you that I wanted to die, James. I wanted the pain to end.
That's why I did it, honey. I just couldn't watch you suffer. No. That's not true. You also said you didn't want to die. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
Mary?
James. Please. Please do something for me. Go on with your life.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you. Waiting for you to come to see me. But you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that. But I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. But I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me, or maybe I just disgust you. I'm sorry about that. When I first learned that I was going to die, I just didn't want to accept it. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most. Especially you, James. That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this, James. I'll always love you. Even though our life together had to end like this, I still wouldn't trade it for the world. We had some wonderful years together. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. That means that as you read this, I'm already dead. I can't tell you to remember me, but I can't bear for you to forget me. These last few years since I became ill, I am so sorry for what I did to you, did to us. You've given me so much, and I haven't been able to return a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you, James. James, you made me happy.
I do kind of find it funny that she says the letter is going on too long, and then does like 5 more paragraphs. So, that was the full letter from Mary. Now, hi Laura. Emotional damage, yeah. Indeed. Hi, James. Okay. So, we got the what I'm assuming is the good ending for this game. We're gonna turn this down quite a bit here as we talk about it. We'll let the credits roll until we fix some stuff. There we go. So basically, if you didn't follow what happened, Mary got sick some time ago. It's probably like around 3 years, I think, is the idea of that. That's why he keeps referencing 3 years. She gets really, really sick, like terminally ill in later parts, and it takes a toll on her, and it takes a toll on their marriage, you know, their relationship. She says some hurtful things, which, if you're in a lot of pain, you know, it tends to happen. And James, basically, it takes a toll on James as well. And then close to the end, where basically she's able to come home, but it's a farewell tour, swan song kind of return to home, where she knows she's gonna die. And James, in the VHS tape, it's a little blurry, but James basically smothers her with a pillow. That's what he does. He takes a pillow and he smothers her. And that's how she dies. He kills her. Now, you might see parallels between the characters you see on screen with Angela and Eddie. Angela and Eddie also both killed people. Now, their motives were different, right? With James, his was, depending on the ending, out of mercy or out of hatred. For the situation and for Mary. Eddie's was out of, basically from a bullying standpoint. He was being picked on until he just couldn't take it anymore. Now, he did say he started with a dog, which is usually the first indication of some sort of sociopathy or whatever. They found that there's a lot of murderers who, especially if they go on sprees, tend to start with small creatures, whether that's cats or dogs or other animals and stuff, and then they move on to slaying humans. So that's kind of what Eddie's trajectory was. He broke, ended up killing a dog, ran away because of the person coming after him, and then he just couldn't really get away from the issues because he never dealt with the issues, and then he basically became a serial killer. At least from what he's telling us. He's killed multiple people. Now that might just be in Silent Hill, but, you know. But with Angela, hers was basically from a place of self-defense, which is an important distinction between the three characters, right? So James did it out of his emotional stuff, Angela did it out of her emotional stuff, and Eddie did it out of his. But what sparked those emotions is the important difference between the three. You know, Angela was dealing with years of abuse and neglect and just punishment for things that she didn't even do. So there you go. We got the Leave ending. There are 4 endings, and then I think the UFO ending. Let me double check. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, technically there's 6. There's the 4 that are listed. Then there's the dog ending and the UFO ending. And then technically there's Born from a Wish ending, which we don't have on this version of the game. You can only get that on the Xbox or the Greatest Hits version. I have the regular version. So basically that's kind of the reason why those other characters exist. Now, the reason why this character, James, is not my favorite character is because with this ending specifically, the good ending, he basically gets let off scot-free, right? He's dealt with his trauma of killing his wife, and now he moves on and potentially adopts Laura, right? The problem I have with that is he killed her essentially out of selfishness. Like, yes, she said some cruel things, but if you've been with people that have physical ailments, mental ailments, stuff like that, there are going to be moments where those people say and do things that doesn't excuse the behavior, mind you, but they are going to say and do things out of pain, not out of like seriousness. They might say like, "Oh, I hate you," but you heard in the sickbed scene before we walked into the final area that she told him to leave, but then immediately was like, "I don't want you to go." Right? It's because she was suffering, right? And like I just don't like that James basically is just like, "Well, I smothered my wife with a pillow. I guess I'm good to go." And he just like leaves, right? Like it just, I don't know. I don't like his character arc in this game. That's why he's my least favorite protagonist of the series. Because I just feel like he gets to do something terrible and we're supposed to be like, well, it's okay, because it's not okay, you know. And different endings have different things. So the other endings you can get, let me look. There's the Maria ending, which is where you leave with Maria, but as you leave, Maria starts coughing, and he says you have to do something about that cough, which basically is him re-entering the cycle that he had with Mary with Maria, where she'll eventually get sick, she'll eventually go on her deathbed, and he'll eventually kill her. Right, like it's just a cycle repeat. There's the in water ending, which is what people I said we're going to talk about this here. What people believe is the canonical ending based on what's been said by developers, and there's a thing in Silent Hill 4 that I will try to make sure we interact with so that you can see it, that reference that the in water ending might be the canonical ending. And in that ending, you remember how he told Angela that he that he wouldn't kill himself? Well, in the in-water ending, he kills himself. He drives his car into Toluca Lake. The reason why that's important is one of the discussions with, I think it was the developers, it might have been somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was with the developers. They mentioned that the idea was Mary's body was in the trunk of the car the whole time, the car from the beginning that drove us to Silent Hill, and then the in-water ending is canonical ending because that's him driving him and her into the lake. Also, there's a reference to there being like 47 corpses in the lake in this game, which is, again, kind of an interesting reference. Always felt like there was a chance he did it for mercy, but still, it's still murder, right? Like that's the problem I have is, like, I know there's parts of the world that don't do this, but in the US, I think there's like 9 or 10 states that do what's called assisted suicide, which is where they pump you full of enough morphine that you just pass away, right? It's a more humane way of dying. But like, I don't know. I just feel like, one, he already knew she was gonna pass, right? She would have told him when she came home, but the fact that he then just smothered her with a pillow anyways, just like, I get it, you don't want her to suffer, but like it's still murder, right? Whether it was for mercy or whether it was for, you know, your own gratification, it's still murder. I just don't vibe with that. I don't like that as a thing. Maybe he was telling Angela because he was trying to convince himself not to kill himself. Yes. You also have to read. There's very specific things you have to get for the in-water ending. You have to look at Angela's knife. You have to read. There's a note on, I think, the rooftop of the hospital. Let's see. Yeah, there's a diary on the top of the hospital. There's a new message for James on Neely's bar after the hospital, and then you have to listen to the entire sickbed conversation. That's how you get the in-water ending. So, but there's a bunch of endings with this game. We'll definitely be back to show some of them. Because again, I enjoy the game. I just don't like James's story as a protagonist. I feel like it puts him in a heroic redemption light when he doesn't really deserve it. Like he didn't do anything but accept that he killed his wife, right? Yeah, dog ending. We'll definitely do dog ending. You're the one behind it all. But yeah, we'll do some of the fun endings too. But I like I said, I just don't vibe with that. But the game is great. I think it touches on a lot of stuff that the series, you know, is known for. You know, the different Silent Hills, how everybody's trauma impacts the Silent Hill that they're in, who they meet, how they meet them, what they see. Like there's a lot of good that comes from 2, and I think that's why it's getting the remake over 1. But I just don't like I just don't like the... We also killed more enemies than 8 by shooting, by the way. I'm not sure that is actually accurate. I just don't like James's arc. I'm not a big fan of that. But there you go. So clear, save data, clear. Save clear data. There we go. We will... Let's do this. Let's just overwrite that one. Because you need a cleared game in order to do the other endings. But let's leave it. Let's actually go switch over here, and we'll talk about this game a little bit, as we do with all games that we beat. I will also do, once we get done with the series, I will do a retrospective of my likes, dislikes, and I'll do kind of my listing of which ones I like overall. But as we go through the series, I'll talk about each game like we do all of the games that we beat, from a mechanical standpoint, from a story standpoint, and from an overall what I think and would I recommend it. Mechanical standpoint, it's very much survival horror. It is, you get weapon, you have monsters, you solve puzzles, you try to survive, and, you know, defeat whatever atrocities are along the way. So if you like puzzles, these games progressively, honestly, I think 2 and 3 probably have the most variance in their puzzle, if I remember correctly. I don't remember a lot of the puzzles from the later games, but we'll obviously look into that when we get there. But I know those 2 games specifically, the puzzles can be very hard if you turn them onto hard. But I do like the adjustment of the difficulty of both the combat and the puzzles, so more people can enjoy these games if they don't want to struggle their way through that. But mechanically, that's kind of it. It's just, there's monsters, there's puzzles, and there's bosses. Those are your 3 main things. So it's combat and puzzle solving and exploring, which that's what you expect from a survival horror game. Story-wise, again, I think the reason why this particular Silent Hill is getting the remake over any of the other ones is just because this story has the most to it. This is, like, there are supporting characters in other Silent Hills, but none of them are like the supporting characters in Silent Hill 2, really. Like, you have the detective in Silent Hill 3, you've got Lisa and Kaufman and I keep on calling her Claudia, but that's later on. Dahlia, like, you have those characters in the games, but you don't really get to see their story evolve like you do with Silent Hill 2. And like I said, I think that's why this game is getting the remake, right? But story, it's really good. Like, my personal grievances aside, I still think it's a fantastic story, no matter what ending you get, because each ending is a different aspect on what James's future could look like. Whether you leave with Laura, whether you leave with Maria, whether you drive your car into the lake. That one has less of a future for obvious reasons, but it touches on a lot of really touchy subjects through Angela, through Eddie, through Laura just a little bit, and especially through the story with Mary. And I think all of those are very important stories to tell, where everybody, like, it talks about that. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Basically, it shows that anybody that you know could be dealing with stuff like this, and you may never know, right? You might have someone who's going through what Angela's going through. You might have someone in your life who's an Eddie, who boy howdy, I hope nothing bad comes of that, you know. You might have someone in your life who's a James, that, they did something, maybe they were allowed to do something unspeakable, maybe they weren't allowed to do something unspeakable, and they did it, and it tears them apart, right? It's the idea that, like, most of the people that enter Silent Hill are just normal people, right? And that's the point. And that's what I think Silent Hill 2 does well from a story standpoint, is it basically shows you that these kinds of things can happen to anybody. And, it's not easy to deal with. And as Angela said, for me, it's always like this. That phrase, again, is very powerful from a trauma discussion standpoint. So, like I said, amazing story. It's definitely one of the best in the series. A lot of people argue it's the best in the series. We'll see. The whole reason I'm playing through the series again is to see, what games I enjoyed, because I haven't played some of these. Like, I haven't played this game, I'll be honest, probably since 2001. Maybe a little bit later, maybe since like 2003 or something like that, but I have not played this game in a very long time. But it is a very powerful game with a very powerful story, and I think the story is very, very good. So overall, usually when I talk overall, I try to give whether I would recommend a game or not recommend a game, and then I give the caveats. I will say, Silent Hill 2, if it's not obvious with most of the Silent Hill games, there's probably only going to be one that I don't recommend, and it should be obvious even before we play it. But Silent Hill 2 definitely gets a recommend from me. I think my only thing is, it's not really a caveat to it, but just with any of these horror games, and I mention this a lot when we play horror games, whenever you're playing a horror game, just be ready for it to kind of hit you in your emotions and maybe dig up some stuff from maybe your own past or your own experiences, because that stuff can really hit home when you're not expecting it, right? It can be very powerful, but I do recommend this game. Now, I will say, this game, this specific copy, PlayStation 2, just basic copy, this game is $140 physical. If you are collecting or whatever and you have the disposable income, go for it. I would recommend emulation for basically most of the series, just because these games are super expensive to get physical copies of. Most of these games I've had physical copies of since they came out. That's why I have these. There's very few of them that I bought after the fact. So if you have the money and you want to do physical, great. If you don't, I still recommend emulation. I think it's worth playing through. There's a lot of good things, and that happens in horror media in general. I had a mini panic attack because Sinister 2. Yeah, Sinister 2. Yep, exactly. That's why I love horror. Shakes out the emotional cobwebs. That's a good way of putting it, yeah. But overall, I do recommend it. If you get your hands on it, definitely give it a go, and maybe wait for the remake. If you and see how that goes, because if the remake does well enough, if it looks good enough, maybe that's your ticket into playing this game. But we'll see. Like I said, they've got some big shoes to fill, but I'm gonna stay positive about it. I think they can handle it. I really do. So we'll see where it goes from there. But if you're watching this over on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff on YouTube, so that way we can push these videos out to even more lovely people. And I will see you in the next one.